ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Yes, we are continuing Harinama Chintamani. Just as Krishna attracts all the people of the universe, his name, which is his eternal attribute, serves the same purpose, meaning Krishna's name also attracts all the people of the universe. Just as Krishna is non-different from his form and his name cannot be separated. When one remembers Krishna's name, one simultaneously perceives Krishna's form. The form and the name cannot be differentiated. They are like inseparable dancing partners. Of course, right now we might not be perceiving Krishna's form, but ideally when one remembers Krishna's name, one simultaneously perceives Krishna's form, the pure state. So Krishna and his name are non-different. As soon as one remembers Krishna, one perceives Krishna's form. So his form and his name cannot be separated. They are like inseparable dancing partners. Meaning they come together. That is why we have to just focus on the name and the form will come. Eventually the form will appear, will manifest. So focus on name, focus on developing attachment to the name. Name also should attract us. Just the name Krishna should attract, the Maha Mantra should attract us. Krishna possesses 64 remarkable spiritual qualities in full. All other living entities are his partial expansions. Ordinary living entities possess 50 qualities in small portion. Brahma, Shiva and other devatas possess up to 55 qualities. Brahma here is said that he possesses up to 55. Not just Shiva, but elsewhere we read Brahma possesses only 50. Narayana and the full avatars possess 60. So Krishna possesses 64, Narayana and other full avatars possess 60, Brahma, Shiva and other devatas, some significant devatas. Or here it says other devatas possess up to 55 and ordinary living entities possess 50. Krishna's eternal transcendental name, unaccountable in number, have all the eternal qualities. So, so the name also has all the 64 qualities, just as Krishna has. The pastimes of the Lord take place on the waves of these transcendental qualities in the Lord's abode in Goloka, Vaikuntha and Braja. The pastimes of the Lord take place on the waves of these transcendental qualities in the Lord's abodes in Goloka, Vaikuntha and Braja. These pastimes are fully spiritual. In spiritual existence, name, form, quality and activity are not differentiated from person's identity, but by association with dull material elements which are not conscious, the living entity knows only names, qualities, forms and activities that are separate from one another and from his real self. And this is because of our association with dull material elements. Because all these name, quality, form, activities, all these are material and they are also separate from one another because they are different material objects, and they're also separate from our real self, which is the Atma. For the pure living entities, Name, form, qualities, and activities are one with the self. Now, this means pure living entities are ones who have already spiritualized their existence. So, for they are similar to Krishna's situation, where Krishna's name, form, quality, pastimes, and Krishna himself are non-different because everything is spiritual. But for us, because we are in dull material association, for us, names, qualities, forms, and activities are separate, and they're also separate from our real self. Only on taking shelter of a material body does the jiva distinguish differences. In the case of Krishna, who is beyond all material existence, these attributes are naturally and eternally one inseparable principle. However, among these four attributes by which one can know Krishna, the holy name is the primary element, for by this one attribute, all attributes can be experienced. Since one can realize the form, qualities, and activities of the Lord by taking shelter of the name of the Lord, the chanting of the Lord's name is accepted as the Vaishnava Dharma. Since all the Lord's transcendental pastimes are present in the name is the highest truth and the highest principle. This is the verdict of Lord Chaitanya. Hmm. All pastimes are also present in the name. Form is also present in the name. Act, qualities are also present in the name. So, which means that once we take shelter of name, all this form, quality, and pastimes will get revealed. Hmm. Okay, any questions so far? It's difficult to understand, but just understand that form, quality, pastimes, and are all non-different from the name, which is non-different from Krishna. All of them non-different. Like I was saying, simply for now we can understand that they're all spiritual and have the same spiritual quality. Mm. In spiritual quality, everything spiritual is has the same qualities, cognizant. So whatever Krishna as a person, whatever qualities he has, all those qualities are spiritual. So they are also present in the name. So it's like just to understand, for example, say water. Um, all water have same qualities. So whether there is ice, whether it's difficult to understand materially, but I'm just giving different forms of water, for example. They all have the same qualities. So similarly, different forms or different types of spiritual substance also have the same qualities. So form is one kind of spiritual substance. And qualities is another kind of spiritual substance. Pastimes another kind of spiritual substance. All of them are spiritual, and so they have the same qualities as Krishna. And because they all have the same qualities, they can be considered as non-different from one another also. So for now, just understand that they're all spiritual, and so they're not different. But the holy name is the key, like I was saying yesterday. It's the key for everything else. All other attributes can be experienced by taking shelter of Nama.
Hare
So
Krishna,
it is a
Prabhu.
Vaishnava Dharma. Yeah.
What is the difference between Goloka, Vaikunta, and Vraja, Prabhu?
Okay. Go. Vraja is uh, Vraja involves, yeah, Vraja and Goloka can be considered as same for our understanding. Vaikuntha is Vishnu's abode, Narayana's abode. Goloka is also part of Vaikuntha Loka, but it is still separate. Mm, so it's like a, so I've shown this before, but let me just show once more. Mm, so this is the whole chart. So we are here in Devi Dhama. This is the Brahmanda. And then there is Mahesh Dhama. We won't go into details of all this. So Haridama is called Vaikunta, which is all the spiritual planets where Hari or Vishnu, Narayana resides. And then above Vaikuntha is Ayodhya. Then above that is Goloka, Vrindavan. Okay, so in this Goloka there are different parts. This whole Goloka is also called Braja. Um, uh, uh, Here Goloka Vrindavan actually has Mathura, Jagannath, Puri, Dwaraka also. But the Vrindavan, the area of Vrindavan specifically is Brajadham. And yeah, so that's good enough for now for this. Okay, so this is the higher accepted as the Vaishnava Dharma. But though the name is absolute, different people take it up in different ways. The conditioned living entity who takes up chanting of the name with faith and purity is called a Vaishnava. So here, two qualities are being described for some calling somebody as a Vaishnava is faith. Yes, faith. He takes up the chanting of the name with faith and purity. Mm. And the person who takes up chanting the name in the mode called Namabhasa is called Vaishnava Praya or semi Vaishnava. So here, as per this definition, Vaishnava is only who chants the name with faith and purity. And if somebody chants in Namabhasa, he is called Vaishnava Praya, semi Vaishnava. The semi Vaishnava can, however, by the mercy of Krishna, gradually attain a pure state. Okay. So there are different definitions of Vaishnava. So as per this definition, somebody who is chanting in pure name, chanting pure name is only a Vaishnava. And others are called semi-Vaishnavas. Truly, there is nothing comparable to the holy name in this material world. It is the ultimate jewel amongst all Krishna's treasures. In the whole material world, the only spiritual elements are the Jiva and the holy name. So please note this. The whole material world, the only spiritual elements are the Jiva and the holy name. Of course, apart from the Lord. The Jiva is a covered spiritual element in the material world. Covered. Mm. And Krishna, the principal spiritual element, makes his appearance in the world in the form of his name. So Krishna also appears himself, but he also makes his name is always present in the material world. Hmm. Krishna's names are of two types, primary and secondary. Those names which take shelter of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are his primary names, such as Govinda, Gopala, Rama, Radhanatha, Hari, revealing the eternal pastimes of the Lord. And such are called primary names. By taking shelter of the primary names, the living entity gets the ultimate goal of life. And they allow the living entity to enter into the spiritual world. Secondary names are those which describe the Lord's functions in relation to the material world. Shrishtikarta, Paramatma, Brahman, Jagat Samhar, what is that? Jagat Samharta, destroyer of the universe, Yagneshwara, are the names for use in Karma and Gnanakanda and give material elevation and liberation. So these are called secondary names, which are in connection with his function in relation to the material world. Anything. And those which are in connection with his transcendental pastimes, they are the primary names. And the secondary names will give us only material elevation and liberation. They won't give us Goloka, Krishna Loka. They won't give us entrance into the spiritual world. The devotees accept only the primary names, principal names, since only the principal names yield Krishna Prema. And secondary names yield liberation. Okay, so now we are coming to the main topic, types of chanting. Concerning the names of Krishna, the primary names, according to the method of chanting, there will be different results. According to the method of chanting, there will be different results. The scriptures declare that if one chants the name of Krishna only once, or hears the name of Krishna only once, whether that is pure or impure, It is sufficient to deliver that person from the ocean of material existence. This is what we have been hearing, right? So here it is pure or impure, doesn't matter. This is Namabhasa. That name will purify the person of all his sinful activities. But one must here note that if the name is chanted in Namabhasa, the ultimate benefit will come slowly. This is what we are saying, na, that the Nama might not give results immediately. So if one chants in Namabhasa, the ultimate benefit will come slowly. But if one chants purely, anyway, it will immediately deliver the person from material existence. Immediately. Not no wait. But if it once chants in Namabhasa, and what that Namabhasa is, we will understand. It's just not pure. For now, Namabhasa means the chanting is not pure. It's impure. So then the ultimate benefit will come slowly, but the benefit is there. It delivers the person from the ocean of material. So just simply once saying Krishna, we are delivered. No, but when will that result come into effect is a question. So this is Namabhasa is impure chanting. Namabhasa itself is called impure chanting. Okay. However, in the case of extreme impurity or great distance from the pure name, progress to prema is completely blocked. So this is some impurity. Some impurity is Namabhasa. Extreme impurity is called Namaparada. So in extreme impurity, progress to prema is completely blocked. This state of chanting is called aparada. So we should understand that some little impurity is namabhasa, extreme impurity is namaparada. But both of them are impure, they're not pure. One such obstacle which separates a person from the pure name is the conception that the name of Krishna and Krishna himself are different, or that the name of Krishna is actually a material sound separate from the absolute truth. As long as this conception continues, it is impossible to attain prema. So this is okay. So there is okay. Namabhasa is an indirect approach to prema. For by chanting in the mode of Namabhasa, one first becomes gradually purified of sin. And being purified of sin, one chants Shuddha Nama, which will directly give Krishna Prema. So it's an indirect, meaning first Namabhasa, then Shuddha Nama. Shuddha Nama is pure name, which gives Krishna Prema. Okay, now what this pure name is, etc., we will discuss later. So one first becomes gradually purified of sin. So this is the point. So if we are chanting Namabhasa, then we become gradually purified of sin. Because the result of the chanting is not manifested. Result of chanting is not manifested. Now there is something called separation. So there are two kinds of separation. Anyway, here this is referred to separation of syllables of the holy name, such as the syllables ha and ri, separated from each other by some other syllables. By such syllabic separation, the effect of the holy name is also hindered. So, for example, for some simply it's just for argument's sake. I mean, it's not the actual word, but if suppose say hasri, if suppose say we say hasri, ha and ri are there, but because there is one alphabet sa in the middle, the effect of the holy name is hindered. But suppose say somebody chants haram, so the Yavana means Muslims. So they are those who don't accept Vedas. So they chant Yavana when he's dying. But there is no separation of syllables. Ram is coming together. And it doesn't matter whether it is Ram, Rama. So Ram is coming together. So there is no separation of syllables. So this is classified as Namabhas. So if there is if the alphabets of the nama are separated by other syllables, then the effect is impeded. But if the nama is taken without separation, even in some other context, it is nama bhasa. Like haram is a classic example. So, but the important thing is if one chants in nama bhasa, the ultimate benefit will come slowly. Um, but the one's chanting or one's hearing of the name is sufficient to deliver the person from the ocean of material existence. So, where is my notes? We should write here saying that. mm, so, sins will be there. So, in some sense, so more or less, if we chant in nama bhasa also, the sins will continue. Um, yeah, in most cases, the sins will appear, sins will remain, sins will go only gradually. Okay. Okay. And if it is so extreme impurity is called nama prada. So here one more thing we can write down. So what is nama bhasa? Nama bhasa is impure chanting. Oops, what happened to this? Nama parata. Extreme impurity. Of the two types of separation, philosophical and syllabic, the philosophical misconception is more serious. It is a contamination by Mayavada ideas unapproved by scripture and is a great disturbance in Kali Yuga. Anyway, okay, this is not required for us right now. In summary, one should understand the real nature of the holy name. It is not different from Krishna himself. One should chant the principal name of Krishna and one should chant the name devoid of nama basa or aparadha. This is the goal. The person who takes these considerations to heart and chants the holy name even once is considered a Vaishnava. So we should take these considerations to heart. So this is important. And chants the holy name even once is considered a Vaishnava. Okay. Overcoming Namabhasa and attaining Prema. In order to overcome Namabhasa and obtain the pure name, the living entity must serve the genuine Guru with great attention. So, how to overcome Namabhasa? How to overcome Namabhasa? Serve Guru. Hmm. With great attention. Serve Guru with great attention. Okay. By doing this, the anarthas or impurities in the heart will disappear, and the pure name endowed with all spiritual potency will dance on the devotee's tongue. So, this is Basically, this is the process of anartha nivrutti. Okay, so this is also clear. Anarthas have to go. Now, of course, the chanting also helps. Like we discussed yesterday, that apart from Vaishnava Aparad, all other anarthas and offenses, everything will go by continuous chanting, by continual chanting, meaning every day chanting. Gradually, these things will go. If somebody chants more, then it will go more, it will go faster, right? So, also achieved by continual chanting. Okay. Um, at that time, the devotee will not be able to separate himself from the stream of sweet nectar emanating from the holy name, and he will dance constantly, mad with the sweetness of the name. In great joy, the name will dance, the jiva will dance, and prema itself will dance with the jiva. This will make the whole universe dance and will force Maya to flee. So basically, all the anarthas have to go, and then pure name will appear. And when pure name appears, then it is ecstasy. That's what this is showing. This is explaining. That name will dance, the tongue will dance, the jiva will dance, etc. Whatever. I mean, not tongue will dance. Lord will dance on the devotee's tongue. So basic idea is this is ecstasy. But this will be experienced only when we chant the pure name. So till we have anarthas, pure name will not manifest. And to get rid of anarthas, two ways. One is to serve genuine guru with great attention. Again, you talked about this. Serving guru with great attention not just means vapu, vani. Most importantly, vapu means body, vani means instructions. So we have to follow the instructions of the guru. And also, sincerely trying to chant, like we have to take these considerations to heart. Meaning, we should be concerned about chanting in impurely. We should be concerned about it. And we should put effort. Hmm? Chanting with sincere efforts to overcome offenses. Okay. Qualification for the name. Who actually accepts the name? The Lord has endowed the name with all his energy and offered it as a means of deliverance for all human beings. There's no restriction among human beings for taking up the chanting of the holy name. Factually, however, only those human beings who have developed faith or shraddha will begin chanting the name. He is called a qualified person, adhikari. Taking shelter of the name and chanting the name, he is known as the practitioner of the holy name, sadhaka. But we have to take shelter of the name, meaning we have to understand that our whole progress now depends on the name and how we chant. So we have to take this as the most important process, important activity for us in the day, not chanting whenever we get time. That means we are not taken shelter of the name. Then we are not even a sadhaka. We are not even a qualified person. But it's okay. The name is so powerful. Somehow or the other, it will bestow mercy because it's not different from Krishna. Krishna is so merciful. In other spiritual practices, there are restrictions in performance according to consideration of place, time, and cleanliness. But in taking up the name, there is no consideration of this, for the name overcomes all these restrictions by its invested power. Whereas in acts of charity, sacrifice, bathing, japa of mantras, there is always consideration of place, time, and cleanliness. In chanting the holy name of Krishna, faith is the only necessity. So we have to just have faith. Okay, that name is not different from Krishna and it's all powerful. That's all. And it will take me to my goal. That's all is required. Whoever takes shelter of the holy name in Kali Yuga with great faith achieves the highest perfection. So this is the point. So this is very clear. The path is very clear. Maybe we are at this point of time not there, but it doesn't matter. We are taken the path and we have to take the path with faith, great faith. Then we will achieve perfection. Therefore, the living entity in Kali Yuga should constantly and sincerely chant the holy name in the association of Vaishnavas. See, that is why we are planning to, at least in our Holy Mao center, we want to start chanting holy name in the morning. I know some devotees actually in morning time they spend doing other activities like going doing Ashtanga yoga or walking. Nothing is as important as the holy name. If we want Krishna, otherwise we can do whatever we want. If you want Krishna, then nothing else is more important, and that chanting has to happen in Brahma Muhurta or at least in the morning hours. And it should happen in the association of Vaishnavas. So, to give this association of Vaishnavas to devotees, we are hoping that we will start chanting process, chanting, like let devotees come to our center and chant like that. And for those who are near our temple, they can go there. Or for others, we might also be thinking of starting morning online japa session. The whole idea is to get association of Vaishnavas. But of course, online is not as effective, but it's still better than doing it ourselves, especially in initial days. Though living in the material world, he should spend his life in constant remembrance and chanting of the holy name in the association of devotees, while engaging in all actions favorable to spiritual development and avoiding all actions which are detrimental. Uh, anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam. So while doing things which are anukula kara and not doing things which are pratikula kara, one should constantly remember and chant the holy name. By constant service to the name of Krishna and the devotees of Krishna, avoiding any other path of action or the worship of any devata, is guaranteed to attain Krishna prema. So please note this. By constant service to name and devotees, one achieves Krishna prema. Constant service to name and devotees. Concluding his explanation of Concluding his explanation of how the Jivas accept the holy name, Haridasa began weeping. Falling at the Lord's feet, he held them and begged for attraction to the holy name. He is begging for attraction when he has so much attraction. The holy name transcendental. So we have to beg. We have to cry and beg for attraction to the holy name. This also we should put. Because we understand there is no other way. Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. The holy name, transcendental touchstone, Chintamani, yielding all fulfillment, which is Krishna Prema, will become the very life and soul of that person who performs devotional service at the lotus feet of the greatest Vaishnava Haridas Thakur. So we also have to take shelter of Haridas Thakur. He can give us mercy. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. Okay, we'll just start this topic another 5 minutes and we'll continue. Nama Bhasa. So just to recollect, Nama Bhasa means impure chanting and extreme impurity is Nama Parada. So the what constitutes Namabhasa and Namaparada are the same. But when the impurity is extreme, then it is called Namaparada. When the impurities are less, it's called Namabhasa. Okay. Vani Mataji, any question?
No, Professor.
Okay. Haridasa, now explain the meaning of Namabhasa. For by understanding clearly the nature of Namabhasa, one can attain pure chanting of the holy name, Shuddha Nama. By the power of the chanting, a person can easily cross over material existence. So one has to come to Shuddha Nama, that is the idea. As the brilliance of the sun extinguishes the darkness, the holy name extinguishes the darkness of illusion, Maya. However, clouds or mist may cover the sun from the viewer so that only a portion of light is perceived. In the same way, when ignorance and material tendencies, anarthas, are prominent in the living entity, they obstruct the sun of the holy name so that the devotee experiences only a portion of the full effect of the name. So this is important. Due to ignorance and anarthas, only a portion of the holy name. And devotee experience and devotee experiences. Only a portion of the holy name. Portion of the full effect of the holy name. Now the full effect of the holy name. Though one may speak of the holy name being covered by the clouds of anarthas, in reality, the sun of the holy name can never be covered. Rather, the senses of the materially conditioned individuals are covered. For this reason, in some cases, the holy name will appear in full force in the heart of the chanter. But in other cases, due to abundance of ignorance and anarthas, the effects of the name on the chanter will be minimal. So, to the extent of our ignorance, so we will experience the effect of the chanting. So we have to, so first thing is obviously we should not increase our anarthas. Anarthas are known, right? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. We should not live life in such a way that we increase these anarthas. And we put effort to actually decrease the disease. This is the material fever, material disease, Bhava Roga. And chanting is the solution. But if while chanting, so we chant for 2 hours and for 22 hours, we increase ignorance, anarthas, we live a life of sense gratification, then the effect of the name on the chanter will be minimal. But for those devotees who are not living a materialistic life, but who are constantly, in a prayerful mood to get rid of their ignorance and anarthas, they will slowly and steadily experience the effect of the name of the chanting. Okay. Ignorance is comparable to mist, and anarthas are comparable to clouds. Ignorance is of 3 types. Concerning the holy name, the person who does not know the true spiritual position of the holy name enters into the darkness of ignorance. Concerning the position of the Lord, the person who does not understand that Krishna is the Supreme Lord will take to worship of the Devatas and turn to the path of material piety, karma. So this is also one thing that absolutely we have to avoid, because this is ignorance. This is due to ignorance. Worship of the other devatas is done because of ignorance. And if there is ignorance, again, the effect of the holy name will not be experienced. And we know devatas are all other demigods. Anybody who is not a Vishnu Tattva is who is taking care of whatever affairs of the material world is devata, and we should not worship devatas. If we are worshipping devatas, that means we don't understand the supreme position of Krishna, and this ignorance concerning the position of the Lord. And the third type of ignorance is concerning the nature of the individual spirit soul. The person who is ignorant of the spiritual nature of his own self, as an amsha of Krishna, takes shelter of the world of impermanence and illusion, and remains eternally in ignorance. So we don't know that we are Atma, and we always keep thinking that we are body, and we take shelter of world of impermanence and illusion, and we remain eternally in ignorance because we'll never come to know that I am spirit soul. Yeah, Nagendra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I just had a quick question regarding the worship of the other devtas.
Yeah.
How about chanting the Gayatri mantra while doing Sandhya Vandana on a daily basis? I mean, is it wrong?
Okay. I mean, see so the Gayatri also there are 2 types. There is Smartha Vidhi and there is Vaishnava Vidhi. In ISKCON, for example, there is what is called as Brahmin initiation. And when one takes Brahmin initiation, he actually chants Brahma Gayatri, and then there is something else also, which are favorable for us to get. But the problem is the Smartha Vidhi, the mantras itself, themselves have a lot of we say ignorance somewhat built in. For example, generally, like, I mean, I used to, because I was also got the sacred thread when I was, because we were born in a Brahmana family. And I know that when we are chanting these mantras, then there is Chaturvida Purushartha. I mean, we talk about all these kind of things. Then we worship, glorify the names of various demigods, etc., etc. Now, if you are simply chanting Brahma Gayatri and you are initiated and you simply chant Brahma Gayatri, it's okay. But when we chant the mantras, we have to know what the meaning of those mantras are, right? And if it involves worshipping devatas, normally it involves because um, I mean this Smartha Vidhi, right? Like if you got initiated through Vaishnava Vidhi, then you won't have chanting of the Devata mantras. But if it is
Right.
Smartha Vidhi, which is what most South Indians would have got
Yes.
Upanayanam process as per Smartha Vidhi, uh, then it will involve demigod worship, demigods, chanting demigods, mantras, etc., etc., which is not very favorable, because it just shows the ignorance about the supreme position of the Lord. Um, so, yeah, I mean, to answer in short, but let me, one caveat. I know that there are few devotees who are new to all this possibly knowledge. Um, so one caveat, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry, because sometimes, we should not go faster than what we can actually deal with, and then we might just lose confidence. So it's okay. You have to build faith on the holy name, right? On Krishna, for example, to start with. First we have to have faith in Krishna, and we should understand that all these devatas are part and parcel of Krishna and are just working for him. So they are subordinates to him. And Bhagavad Gita also says, even if they have to give some benediction, it has to be approved by Krishna. So we have to understand Krishna's supreme position and understand that all these demigods are subordinate to them. And then slowly, steadily make up our mind to give up demigod worship,
Right.
right? But yeah, there are challenges. For example, what about others who are worshipping at home, and they can worship, so etc. So it's a little bit of you need to work it out. So
Okay.
don't be in a hurry. At the same time, understand that remaining attached to demigod worship is not going to help us get Krishna. Mm. Of course, gopis worship Katyayani Devi, Durga Devi, praying that they get Krishna as their husband, which is okay. But we can directly worship Krishna only. They were worshipping because of, just that was the nature of the pastime. Krishna had other plans with that pastime, etc. But for us, we can directly pray to Krishna saying that, Krishna, please accept us. Please give us your lotus feet. Or please give us your service, which is what the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is. So we don't have to necessarily engage in any kind of devata worship. Okay, but
Okay.
yeah, just take it as it's your internal acceptance, your internal conviction on
Right.
Krishna, the right, and slowly steadily you can come out of all this. Yeah, some
Right.
devotees are very fast. As soon as they hear this, they understand, no, I want Krishna, I don't want any of this, and they're just ready to change their life. Some might take some more time. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's no hurry, right? But we should know that to get Hari, H-A-R-I, Hari, we have to give up all this,
Uh,
um, right? So
Prabhu, just
otherwise we won't
thank
get
you
it.
so much. Just a follow-up question to that is like if we have just for an example, my house god is like home god, rather is Narsimha.
Yeah,
So can we worship Narsimha since it's a part of Krishna?
yeah, Vishnu Tattva, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
Narasimha is Vishnu Tattva.
Okay.
Somebody might be worshipping Venkateshwara, Vishnu Tattva.
Okay.
Yeah, Krishna, Rama. Um, yeah, all of they're all Vishnu Tattva. So there is, yeah, it's very favorable. But
Okay.
also, yeah, I mean, also our Shastras enjoin that we should not worship Devatas and Vishnu Tattva in the same altar. So anyway, so the whole point is slowly and steadily this worship of Devatas has to be, um, yeah,
Right.
we have to give our attention towards this in course of time. We should understand that worshipping of Devatas just means we don't have full faith in the position of Lord, or we are ignorant of the position of the Lord. Very simple. If we know the mm, chief minister directly, then we go talk to him saying that this is an issue, that is an issue, and he will send orders saying to
Right.
different departments saying that, okay, fix all this. Why are you not taking care of it? So we don't have to then first go to chief minister, then after that again keep going to other departmental ministers. Not required. So
Yeah,
it's
makes sense.
simple to understand. So, and some people are also afraid, saying that, oh, if I go to chief minister, and then if the departmental minister comes to know, won't he become upset with me? Yeah, that's the material world. But this one is not, because the position of Supreme Lord is clearly understood by the Devatas. So they won't dare do anything like that, because we have taken shelter of Supreme Lord, who is the source of their power and who is the most powerful. Right, so they
Right.
won't dare come and interfere. In fact, devatas also are, support and help us on our path to achieve Krishna. In fact, Shiva specifically says that I'm the protector of Vaishnavas. Right,
Okay.
so we don't have to have any concerns, worries about this, but this is the direction.
Okay. So, Prabhu, in that case, then the Govardhana incident,
Yeah,
at that particular point of time,
yeah,
was that, I mean, the reason
yeah. So
behind that
yeah,
was
that is the
Indra
reason
was.
why Krishna actually did Govardhana, because the Vrajavasis were worshipping Indra.
Yes.
And Krishna stopped the puja for two reasons. One, to show that Vaishnavas, devotees of Krishna, don't have to worship demigods. The second thing also, because this particular case, Indra was puffed up because of his power. He thought that he's independent of Krishna, that he
Okay.
got his power by himself. So he somewhat forgot about Krishna's position, did not even bother to understand whether the person he was dealing with was the Supreme Lord or not. So that all
Ah,
happens because of arrogance, pride.
right.
So there are two reasons why Krishna actually performed that Govardhana. The more
Okay.
important one was to actually, for devotees, that they should not worship demigods. So Krishna
Okay.
himself personally stopped them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Okay. Yeah.
Prabhuji. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, just two more paragraphs and I'll stop. At this point, Haridas said, "Today I am fortunate, for from my mouth the Supreme Lord himself will hear about the holy name." Haridasa continued to explain about ignorance. Knowledge means knowing that Krishna is the Lord, that the living entities are his servants, and that the material world is a non-conscious gross manifestation or byproduct of the Lord. Meaning it is non-conscious. Material is non-conscious. Spiritual, everything is conscious. Which means in the spiritual world, even a stone is conscious. A stone chose to become a stone because it thought that, okay, Krishna will walk on this path, and there might be stones which are hard. So I want to become a stone on which Krishna will keep his lotus feet, and I will become so soft that his leg will not hurt. So that stone is sitting there waiting for that service. That Krishna keeps his lotus feet on that stone, and the stone will not hurt the Lord. Hmm. So everything is conscious in the spiritual world, and in the material world, everything is non-conscious. The person who does not know clearly the nature of these principles and their relationship lives under the shadow of ignorance. This is one cause of nama bhasa, or covering the sun of the pure holy name. So this is the easiest to get out. See, please understand, anarthas, will come to anarthas, clouds of anarthas, more difficult. Ignorance is very easy to come out. It's a matter of accepting the right knowledge and hearing the right knowledge and accepting it wholeheartedly. Okay, holy name is not different from Krishna. Krishna is the supreme Lord, and all other devatas, etc., everybody is subordinate to him. So we don't have to worship anybody else if you are worshipping Krishna. And we are not material, we are spirit souls. So I should not get too affected by things that are happening to this body, because this body is material and it's just a vehicle, but I am spiritual and I'm part and parcel of Krishna. And this whole world and this body, everything is impermanent and everything is just cause for illusion. So I don't have to get attached to things of this material world, right? So this is just purely just knowledge based, and it's very easy. So we have heard this knowledge today. We can choose to accept it from today itself, wholeheartedly, right? But if we don't have the required faith in Krishna, then we might be hesitant to accept some of these as well, right? But please understand, compared to anarthas, ignorance is more easier to overcome, because it's just simply knowledge, right knowledge, and just pushing ourselves to accept the right knowledge. We will hesitate because of various reasons, but we have to just say, no, no, but this is the knowledge. Whatever I thought was the right knowledge was incomplete knowledge. So now I have come to the complete knowledge. So let me just accept it and move on. It's as simple as that. Or we can get stuck with this also. But please understand, ignorance and clouds of anarthas are both are blocking us from experiencing the full effect of the name. And between ignorance and anarthas, ignorance because it's just mostly based on knowledge, it's not behavioral based as much. So it's possibly relatively easier. Okay. So I'll stop here and we will discuss the most critical anarthas tomorrow. So just for summary, today we understood that Nama Bhasa is impure chanting and Nama Prada is extremely impure chanting. And generally, the Nama Bhasa, the results don't show up immediately. Result shows come up slowly only. So even though Nama Bhasa can remove all sins, desires, and ignorance, because the results come slowly, so we will continue to mm, be like we have not chanted in Nama Bhasa at all. So sins will be there, suffering will be there, everything will be there. But it's not same as karma. We are not same as a person who is not chanting Hare Krishna. There's a difference because we are in the process of taking shelter of the holy name. Then how to overcome Nama Bhasa? Have to serve Guru with great attention. Anarthas have to go. Ignorance has to go. And this is also achieved by continual chanting with sincere efforts to overcome offenses. Constant service to name and devotees, one achieves Krishna Prema. So every day when we are chanting, we have to cry and beg for attraction to the holy name. Due to ignorance and anarthas, we experience only a portion of the full effect of the holy name. So this is what we have learned today. Okay, so I'll stop here. If anybody has any questions, comments. Anything? Is this complicated? If so, please ask so that it might clarify my understanding also by your questions. And we discussed about Vaishnava Prada, shouting at Vaishnavas, dealing harshly with Vaishnavas, criticizing Vaishnavas. We will be nowhere. I mean, Krishna will just disown us in course of time. So Vaishnava Prada is the most critical thing. And ignorance and other anarthas will come. But Vaishnava Prada is the most critical. So we have to be very, very careful that we don't just deal with other devotees as we deal with normal people of this world.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prabhu, like suppose if I have to talk about myself, my chanting, I chant in the morning only, 4:30 to I take 2 hours and 20 minutes. So, but it is not totally focused, Lord. My mind deviates. And immediately that I realize, I bring it back, but in no time before I realize it's gone again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So we will talk about that. So once let's understand the clouds of anarthas, and then we should understand whether we are in how much impurity is there in our chanting. So we will try. I mean, this is an analytical study. So we will see. We will try to understand and also try to apply it in our own context and see where we stand. But the idea is that our goal should be pure name, meaning our mind is not going anywhere at all, and we are, absorbed in the ecstasy of the holy name, and that is the goal. And we will see how far we are from there. If we are too far away from there, then which means we have to put more effort. Yeah, so we will understand. First, let's understand the anarthas. First is ignorance. So if at all we are stuck anywhere in this ignorance of these three topics, we should first get out of it. That is the first goal. And then we will hear about anarthas and then understand what we need to do or where we stand. Then we will understand Mataji.
okay. So as of now, I am in the Nama Aparad stage. That's what
We
I.
don't know. We don't know actually. Because see, this we have to understand what is the see, actually, as of now, we don't know. We are not very clear what is the line between Namabhasa and Namaprada. Okay, so how much impurity is accepted as Namabhasa? That Haridas Thakur has still not defined. He just said that Extreme impurity is Namaprada. Now, what is extreme impurity means, we don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so
Got
we will
it,
see
Prabhu.
if that gets defined. If it gets defined clearly, then it's okay. Otherwise, humility of Vaishnavas, normally Vaishnavas consider themselves far away. With the only reason that it makes us more humble, makes us put more effort in our chanting so that we can make progress. But let's see. I mean, like I said, I've read this long time back, so I'm also not very sure. So we will read and we'll figure out what is being told. And then we can conclude at the end of the session where we are.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Yeah.
you, Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Just in continuation with the questions asked before, Prabhu, like many times, they say the Kul Devi hai, or hai, and I've seen people who are in Krishna conscious for years. Like even if they want to give up this, if something doesn't happen,
Yeah.
then they go back
Some
to worshipping,
superstitions. Yeah.
like the superstition and this thing. So I mean, I understand that the faith of Krishna conscious somewhere this thing. The full faith in Krishna somewhere wavers, but then how do you actually tell them that this had to happen, and it's not that because you didn't go to like, and sometimes the family pressure is so much that you are forced to do it. You can't run away from it. So what the mode of
Yeah.
this thing will be
Yeah.
take Krishna as your center and then do it.
Yeah, so which is why normally when the way I preach to devotees, when new devotees come, I don't talk too much about demigod worship, because I want them to first develop faith on Krishna. So first the emphasis is more on Krishna's position, Krishna's supreme power, Krishna's that how he is in control of everything. Everybody depends on him. All these concepts first has to become ingrained in the individual. And then slowly, gradually, in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna anyway tells, saying that, this demigod worship is avidhi purvakam. So in 3 chapters, hopefully for newcomers, we have made enough ground to help them understand Krishna's position and the dependent position of devatas. And once that registers in their brains, then slowly, steadily, they'll come out of it. Now, if somebody has not heard at all, then it's a major challenge, right? Which is why regular Shravanam is important. The other thing, for those who have not gone through a very systematic hearing process, is that to tell them all these when things are going good, just to register some of these thoughts in their mind, saying that, see, this is what Tattva is. Um, and over a period of time, uh, we will just make sure that they are at least chanting Hare Krishna. Because just chanting Hare Krishna, like I said, even though we will not achieve very high, Namabhasa means liberation, but little chanting, even offensive chanting, has its own effects. So we will let devotees chant Hare Krishna. We will make sure that they're eating Krishna Prasadam. And more importantly, they're doing Shravanam. And so over a period of time, these things will have its own impact and they can come out. But if they don't have if they are not going through any systematic process, then it becomes very difficult. Then everything is like haphazard. I mean, whatever they want, they are doing. Then it's kind of tough to help them understand. But if they're doing the other angas of bhakti sincerely, then they will soon overcome. And that is a process which our acharyas have given. And the ones who have faith, they will immediately hear this and say, okay, fine, let me stop. Yeah, and like you said, yeah, sometimes there are obligations, family pressures. Then we can just worship, continue the worship. But when we are worshipping also, we are just praying to them, saying that, this is my understanding and I pray to you only to help me so that, I can just worship Supreme Lord in my house. Simple. Pray to them only. They will only make way for it. Okay. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Should we consider this also, the chanting process also, as a nishkama karma, Without expecting anything, we continue to chant the name of the God.
No, we should not. That's a nama parada to think of name as anything else. It's not nishkama karma, it's not karma kanda, it's nothing. It's just, taking the names of Krishna, and that process pleases Krishna. That's all.
Okay, that should again be without any expectation.
Without expectations of material things, but having spiritual expectations is built in, is considered as no expectations, which means that the process of chanting, the meaning of chanting itself is saying, please give me your pure devotional service. So we have a desire. We have a desire to serve Krishna purely, and that is the prayer underlying chanting. So by the process of chanting, any spiritual desires can be, we can ask, we can pray for spiritual desires. That is not an issue. But we should not pray for material desires.
Okay, Prabhu.
Those are the anarthas, which we will come to know. Okay, but we should not try to give any interpretation to the holy name. This is one of the offenses that we read yesterday. We should not give any interpretation. It's simply the Lord's holy name, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Krishna, they have recommended that this be chanted for their pleasure in Kali Yuga, and this will give us pure devotional service to them. That's all. This is all the understanding, and that's all that we require. We don't need to add anything more or less to this. Yeah, Sudhamatri.
Sorry,
Okay.
to do the same thing that it was answered.
Okay, no problem. Okay, anything else? Otherwise, anyway, we'll continue this discussion next class. Okay, we'll close here. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktavrindi ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhishta Kripa Sindhu Bhavacha, Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnavanda ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktavrindi ki jai. Hare Krishna. So the other thing we can note, actually, see, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and previous acharyas, they were pretty straightforward about these things, right? No hodgepodge. Direct, like Prabhupada also, right? So all our acharyas are direct about all this. But yeah, we are only afraid when we are preaching. Anyway, okay, yeah, we'll close.